Hi everyone, it's Tiffany with Rock Bottom Wellness, and this is day 14 of your 21-day Back to Basics Health Challenge. So today's challenge is all about stress management. What can you do in your daily life, make it a part of your routine, to start making time to deal with all the stressors that come into your life throughout the day? So you know that feeling if you're on the freeway, you're in a lot of traffic or anything like that, where someone pulls out on you or someone in front of you swerves or something where it's, kind of alarming, and you can feel it in your body. You can feel the tension. You can feel like the flutters in your stomach, the heart racing, all that kind of thing. That is an example of that fight or flight response. Those are the chemicals like the adrenaline, epinephrine that goes through your body. Those are just examples of a few that go through your body to help you manage through and power through that stressful event. Now, that's like an acute situation. That's something, where you're in traffic or something acute happens where you have that response. That's your body's way to help you manage through. So the problem with our society today, so just using that as an example, is that we have those types of things that just bombard us constantly throughout the day. They may not be as obvious as someone, almost causing an accident. They might not be as obvious as that, but they are insidious, and they just bombard our systems and our bodies. So therefore, our systems are impaired. We don't feel well. Our immune system is affected. We're not feeling good, or we can't fight off infection like we used to. Our thyroid stops working as well as it should, or we end up with some kind of autoimmune condition. Usually autoimmune conditions, when people are diagnosed, they can look back, just the people I've been working with, and maybe they're more in tune with what's going on with them. But lately, the people I'm working with, when they have been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, oftentimes, a few months or a few years or whatever before that diagnosis, there was some major stressful event going on in their body. So it doesn't always have to be autoimmune condition, but maybe it's cancer, or maybe it's something else that happens. So oftentimes I feel like stress is used as sort of the catch-all for, oh, you're just under stress, so just take care of that, or don't be so stressed, or learn how to manage your stress, that kind of thing. So I think it's almost been watered down to the point where we don't even think it's that big of a deal, because it's just so much a part of our lives. We're always running away from that saber-toothed tiger, versus just very little times in our life where we're having to deal with that kind of stress. And so my challenge for you today, and always, is to, what can you do to, first of all, identify the stress and how you respond to stress. Maybe ask a family member that lives with you that might have a good idea of, how you react in certain situations or over time. I mean, my husband definitely knows, for example, when I have medical tests coming up, I apparently change during the few weeks prior to that, and I don't even know what's happening. But I know afterwards, and I've, just worn myself into, just worn myself out just with worry and anxiety with regard to, what's to come. So that's just a really common example. But you need to incorporate things that help you unwind and calm down. So, preferably non-chemical ones, preferably, don't always think you can only relax with a glass of wine or have a drink or whatever it is. But if going out socially or having people around you socially and alcohol is a part of that to some degree, then, maybe that's okay to use that as part of your stress management. But being around people that are positive are really, really good for stress management. But again, you need to balance that with, what you're doing. And same goes for, food. Don't use food as a stress reliever. That's very, very common. It's very, very common to do that. You just go for the comfort foods when you're feeling, stressed or wired or whatever that is. Obviously, sleep is a huge issue for that. So getting really regular sleep, we already talked about that. Getting some movement or exercise, but again, not too much exercise. You don't want to cause the stress to be worse. But look at things that are things that you enjoy and have been, you've been interested in the past. So maybe it's reading a book, start reading a book at night to help you kind of wind down and go to sleep. Maybe it's watch a favorite show on Netflix. Just try not to binge watch on that either. You don't want to binge on food, alcohol, or TV. It's easy to do with some of those Netflix shows. Maybe it's just going for a walk, a leisurely walk, just like going out in nature, going on a hike, doing yoga, or maybe it's just sitting, like I'm in my porch right now. It's kind of cold and windy and whatever, but it's just kind of relaxing to me. So whatever it is you need to do to help manage that stress will help you kind of in the areas that you can't see. I mean, you may feel you're stressed, but your body doesn't care whether it is a good stress or a bad stress. So we like to rationalize, we like to act like we have some control over the type of stress it is, but our body doesn't care. So I always tell my people, whether you're planning for a wedding or planning for a funeral, your body reads it the same. That's just a really simple example to explain that. So your body reads it as stress. So if it's a job you love that's very stressful, your body still has to control it and has to manage it, and over time it just wears it out. So and I could go on and on about all the things that can be affected with stress, but I think we all kind of know that stress is not good for us, but we need to really make a conscious effort every single day to deal with that stress in more of a lifestyle management way. So like I said, read, have positive friends around you, go for a walk, go hike in nature, exercise, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is for you. Read I already said read a book, but do anything you need to do to help calm your mind and also your body. So anyway, that's my challenge for you today. Don't start now and do that every day. Do a little something, 10-15 minutes. That's all it takes to kind of help with that, or do what you need. So anyway, that's it for today's challenge, and hope you are being able to incorporate some of these and start feeling better in the long run. So anyway, take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.